This is Teo coming at you with another video, and we're going to be playing this Pikachu a second time. Goals of this run are very simple. Number one, we want to see if we can beat the game with far fewer resets than we had on our Pikachu with no TMs run by adding a few TMs, maybe a few optional battles where they make sense. Really, I think we're going to have to go optional battles because the entire issue that Pikachu had on 0 DVs, minimum battles, and no TMs was we got to some tough parts in the game, especially the champion at the very end, and it's just a complete luck fest. Can we win the fight? Yes, of course. We've got double team. We'll be able to win every fight eventually, but at what level can we actually just one-shot the Sandslash and just get through that fight? That's kind of what I want to know in this one. And we're going to be looking at a lot of those spots where Pikachu, because it's really frail, because its only really good stat is speed, there are going to be some spots where the only way to make those fights reasonable, the only way to take them from being just terrible to being reasonably quote-unquote consistent, we would have to just gain levels. So we're going to try that today. Let's go ahead and test it out. Starting off with this Pikachu right here. So I'm going to start a brand new game in this one. I did have a failed second run. I decided to abort it. That's fine. It's a new year. New days. Teo. And we're going to go up against our rival. And who should our rival be? We're going to name our rival Razador. Because Razador is doing his thing over there. Loved you, man. I want to do a collab with Razador this year, if possible. Razador, hit me up, dude. We gotta actually get this going. I've finally gotten my PC repaired, so I can finally do this. So the second goal of this run is just to test out my PC, make sure that everything's working properly, so that we can get this show on the road for 2023. So, with that being said, let's get into this run. We've got our Pikachu now, and yeah. We're just gonna get pushed out of the way by Razador. He clearly thinks he's so much better than me. And we're not gonna be like that. We're not gonna be cocky. We're playing as Modest Mouse here. There we go, Modest. That is a name. Oh, that is a name. I don't know. I hope you guys like Modest Mouse. I loved Modest Mouse. Anyway, here we go. So first fight against the rival, and this is a surfing Pikachu. Very important. Now there's nothing that we can do to make this first fight more consistent. We're always going to be level 5, and we're always either going to lose or win. But I am going to turn off this part right here. Okay. Cool. So now I can wait just a second. There we go. There we go. We've got our little mousy boy. I'm going to go ahead and move Surf into the first slot and move Thundershock into the second slot. Nobody needs a Growl. Growl sucks. So here we're just going to lead off with some Surfs. And there we go. Oh, we get through the first one. Nice. Nice. Razador, you had no chance. So we can move on, and here we're just gonna go through the basic start of the game like we always have to do. Like every RPG, you always have to just start with a fetch quest of some kind, right? Like that's the only world building device in RPGs. They're like, go get me something, and that's how they tell you how the game works. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. Pokemon was doing this 25 years ago now. What? So, you know, and it's still in Skyrim. It's still in every RPG. So, go get me something. I'll tell you how the world works. And now listen to this old man, who we had to make him fail to catch the Pokemon so that he doesn't break the entire game. Gen 1 of Pokemon. Love it so much. So we're going to make our way through Viridian Forest, and in this section there's no need to take any optional fights really. So we're just going to get straight into this bug catcher, where the best strategy that I've found is to growl at him because his tackle actually does decent damage. And it takes us several hits to knock this thing out, and look at that, we just got knocked out by a Caterpie. So that puts our Pikachu in the same boat, effectively, as a Pokemon like Alakazam. Alakazam also struggles to beat Caterpie without getting knocked out. So I guess it's fair. But here we get through Rival 1 without taking any damage. Okay, that's nice. And yeah, we're gonna move on here, where this is fine. There's nothing to see here. Don't worry. Yes, we're one battle over minimum battles technically, because we have a reset, but don't worry about that. It's just because I didn't save before that Caterpie, because who thinks you're gonna get knocked out by Caterpie? So how can we make that Caterpie more consistent? Well, I mean, we could take an optional battle here, but I think we're going to beat that Caterpie within 2 or 3 attempts. There's no reason why that Caterpie needs to use tackle there. It's 50% to use string shot. So for it to go tackle, 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 tackle is really just incredibly bad luck. So I don't think we need to take any optional battles here. Let me rephrase. But who knows, we could just get terrible luck and it's just like the game hates me and says, you know what? You know what would be great for this trying to optimize a Pikachu? What if I just give you the worst luck in history? Hey, how about that, buddy? So I'm going to save right here before this bug catcher, just in case. Now I'm going to go growl like crazy here to get his damage down. Okay, and now he has used string shot and he gets a critical hit. Look at that ridiculousness. So we have lost to a bug catcher twice with this Pikachu. So I'm going to use growl again because we want to lower his attack. And now I'm going for the Surfs. And they're finally 3 attempts to beat a single bug catcher. That's stupid. So our first 2 resets come because of that bug catcher. Now, could we avoid that? Yes, we could take 1 more optional battle, but is it worth it is the question, and I don't think it is. Because remember, in my tier list system, we pay penalties every time we take optional battles. So to get the highest possible tiering, we want to avoid these optional battles, especially here where the amount of XP from them is really low. So here we have, in fact, gotten past that section. We're going to go ahead and learn Thunder Wave. And now we are going to just surf on Brock's Pokemon. Surf is the key. We saw that in the first video. Surf, in and of itself, is the only move that Pikachu needs in order to be able to beat the entire game on minimum battles without learning any TMs. And you might be saying, well, Surf, that's an HM move or something. No, Surfing Pikachu is legit in Gen 1, and it's the only non-standard move that can be learned in Gen 1 outside of an event that does not take a TM or an HM to learn. So, yeah. Here we can get into this fight where I'm going to now take advantage of Thunder Wave. And let's use Thunder Shock there. We're going to paralyze things. Oops, didn't mean to use Thunder Wave there though. And here, this one should now be a 2-hit KO. So there we go, cool. Now, I know from experience that this next youngster is actually really hard, so I'm gonna fight this Pidgey girl first to get more experience. I can actually gain a level here. Get to level 11 and learn quick attack. And that is the strategy, I think. But we are still going to have to get full HP before we go into this next fight, because this youngster is actually a savage. He's a beast. So the best strategy, I think, is to use Thunder Wave here, and oh my god, he got a critical hit turn 1. Now we can guarantee we hit him first. Let's Thunder Wave here, because if Ekans uses Wrap, we would have had a chance. That critical hit is the whole reason why we lost. If we just managed to do... and he's critical hitting us again, are you kidding me? Oh my god, this youngster. Terrible. We're a whole level over minimum battles, and it doesn't matter because he's just critical hitting every single time. Are you absolutely kidding me? Like, what is this? What is this madness, guys? Tail whip, miss, and fully paralyzed. That's more like it. I should have used quick attack there. Now I paralyzed this Ekans in case it uses wrap. I want that chance to be able to outspeed it. Or not to outspeed it, I want that chance that it will hit, or not hit itself in confusion. What am I saying? I want the chance that it will not be able to move. So here, let's get into the next Lass, who also has a Rattata. I'm fighting this one because it isn't actually a required battle to beat this section. Like, in my standard of required battles, it's whichever battle gives less experience. I'll always fight the 65 required battles in the game before I take any optional trainers. But I am going to fight this optional trainer, Bug Catcher. This is actually the most experience you can get from a single trainer in this section before Misty. Out of all the optional trainers is actually this guy right here. He's got 4 Pokemon, and they're all incredibly easy to beat because we outlevel them, plus, yeah, 2 of them are cocoons. The problem here is that we're basically just going to deal with the fact that Pikachu is so incredibly frail. It has so little HP relative, or not HP, but HP is also pretty weak, but defense in particular, that we actually need to gain extra levels in this section. Because the Jesse and James fight is a nightmare on minimum battles. As is actually the super nerd just before Jesse and James. He's actually terrible. Because there's no way on minimum battles to get to having double team before that guy. And yeah. So now we're at level 14, so technically we could even use a rare candy and get to double team. But we're just gonna get it naturally, I think. Double team is required for this one. I know people are gonna be like, double team? No! Look, double team is... If you don't get double team here, you're going to have a very, very fun time trying to beat Jesse and James. Let me just say that. And even more so, you're gonna have a really great time trying to beat that super nerd at the end. So here we are going to go Surf on these guys because these are all going to be one-hit KOs with Surf. Now we get to level 15. Now we get double team, and we're going to learn double team over Thunder Wave is the best strategy. And yeah, I've picked up the TM for Mega Punch just in case, but I'm not actually planning to use it if I don't have to, because again, TM's points deduction on my tier list, but it could be useful in the right situation. I'd really like to just hold off and get Body Slam though. Body Slam I think is the actual play. So here, let's get into this fight where our strategy is to lead off with double team a few times. We like when he uses disable, unless he disables double team, rip. But now we also have badge boosts in attack, so we can do more damage here. And now we really just need to land the hits. Okay, and we get through. Cool. There we go. So now we can heal up, save. Cool. Get the Dome Fossil, because why wouldn't we get the Dome Fossil? And now get into the Jesse and James fight, which is also not an easy one. We're going to go for some double teams right off the bat, because once again, we much prefer to have the evasion. And look at that. Even with all the double teams, we're still getting wrecked. We basically can't take a hit from here on out. Let's see if Surf does more. There it does. So we managed to survive thanks to double team. Great. But you can see that our physical defense is really bad. In fact, the point where I realized just how bad Pikachu's defense was is in my last run. I got all the way down to Fuchsia City, and I wanted to gain some extra levels, so I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fight these random like bird keepers that are hanging out around Fuchsia City, right? There's one of the bird keepers that has a Dodrio. Went into that fight, and the Dodrio landed a single drill peck on me. I was already at level 40, and a single drill peck one-shot my Pikachu, in spite of the fact that I had a type resistance. Now, yes, it is a Dodrio, it does have high attack, but that was just terrible. So, here, I'm going to take some more optional battles. I'm going to fight this horsey right here, and we've got a Shelter coming out next, and these Pokemon can go down very easily. Gonna pop my last potion here. I'm gonna just take on this Goldeen trainer, who yet again shouldn't be able to do too much unless we get terrible confusion luck, but doesn't happen there, so we get through that fight. Now, I've learned from experience that fighting Misty here is not consistent. Even with the double team, it just doesn't go well. So instead, I'm gonna fight rival number 2, and I'm going to lead off with the double teams because that is the best strategy. Here, the Spearow has a 50% chance to not use a damage dealing move, and we have Surf in order to take out the Sandshrew, and we can just sit here and continue spamming Surf, and Hyper Fang still does so much damage, my god, no. But we get through, there we go. But this whole area is kind of a gauntlet for Pikachu because we're about to go on the Nugget Bridge, where the Nidorans, these random lasses with their Nidorans, will be double kicking us, which does a lot of damage. The Mankey that's coming up is going to do a lot of damage. Like, this is not an easy section of the game actually for a Pikachu. Here we can go ahead and Surf and then just use a quick attack to finish him off. Here, let's fight this Pidgeygirl, but we're going to lead off with a couple of Thunder Shocks, now a quick attack. Now we want to go Surf. A couple Surfs does the job there, cool. But I'm actually going to go heal up before I take on the next trainer. Because, yeah, this is where this gets really hard. I had a bunch of resets. This is another spot that made me think, man, I have to reset this run. Because I had a bunch of resets here on Nugget Bridge on my last attempt. And how can I call this an optimized run if I'm not even beating the trainers on Nugget Bridge? So here, we're gonna go ahead and just knock that out. Take that one out. We can learn Slam. I am going to learn Slam over Quick Attack. And now Thunder Shock, there we go. Now I want to go ahead and heal up yet again. Now you might be saying, why did you learn Slam? Slam is basically on par, I mean slightly worse in some ways, but basically on par with a move like Mega Punch. The only difference is that we don't have to pay a penalty on the tier list in order to get it. We don't have to give up 1 point in order to learn Mega Punch in this setup. So here we're just gonna go ahead and set up a few of our whatchamacalls double teams, and then we'll just take that last down. This trainer is actually really scary. Mankey, if it lands, a Karate Chop is going to do a ton of damage. So the best strategy, like, look at that. It is a 2-hit KO, but yeah. I mean, we probably should just attack it when we have enough HP to survive a Karate Chop, but still, that's just scary. It does a lot of damage. Here, let's get into the final Rocket Grunts, where this one, again, I'm going to set up a couple double teams at least. Prefer not to get wrapped. And here we can just go for some Thunder Shocks. Leech Life does basically nothing. That's fine. And here we can pick up our Charmander. And just like that, boys, we have 2 Pokemon. Cool. Cool. And now I'm going to just go ahead and fight this hiker right here because why not? And here, let's just route around that trainer there. And these Nidorans, again, very scary actually. They just sit here and spam physical attacks and now slam missing is not good obviously, but this next guy, he has a Rattata and an Ekans, and I'm not confident that I can one-shot them. So back to the Pokemon Center is I think the best plan. So let's go back over here now, and you might say fight the hikers since I have Surf. The problem is the hikers have Machops, and Machop only knows Karate Chop at this point, and Karate Chop is going to do a ton of damage if it hits. Okay, Slam is one-shotting because of the badge boosts and attack that I have. And now for this last Oddish Lass, I can basically just spam Double Team. And I'm spamming Double Team not so much to avoid Absorb, as much as I'm trying to get badge boosts and attack that I can use in order to make my Slam do that. And now Thunder Shock, hopefully one-shots there, nice. Okay, we've leveled up, so we lost our badge boost. But we can see, badge boosts matter. If we had badge boosts, we would one-shot everything there with Slam. And Pikachu, he's very interested in this resident furry. He's like, what is this? I'm so shocked. Look at his shocked face. He's like, that's a human being? He wants to know. He wants to know how to combine himself with another Pokemon too. It's like, come on, teach me, furry. You have the skills that I want. So here, let's get into this fight. This is another tough fight right here. This innocent bystander. Because Karate Chop does literally half of our health with a single hit. Okay. So that's clearly not consistent at this point. So what can we do? Well, we can actually take more battles up here. And I think a natural first spot is actually these two hikers. Since, yes, they also have Machops, but I believe they lead off with Geodude. Yeah. And Geodude is definitely a Pokemon that we can set up on. I mean, Defense Curl won't even matter because we're just going to use Surf. So at least by the time the Machop comes out... Oh, and we get a critical hit. Nice. So we were able to just wipe that one out. This next boyo right here has a Slowpoke, but I'm going to avoid him for now. I'm going to fight this hiker instead. Oh, but he leads off. No! No! He leads off with Machop. But okay. We gained a level and we got to knock out another Geodude. Cool. And you might be saying, why not fight Misty? Well, the problem is that Misty's actually fairly tough. I'm going to try her one time because, I mean, level 23. We've gotten through another damage rounding threshold. I think we're good enough here, but Misty's not easy in this one. As much as you might think. Because if she does hit us a bunch of times, we take really good damage from her water moves and from her just tackles. It's a 2-hit KO there. And here, okay, we paralyzed. Oh, and we got the critical hit. There we go. Nice. Okay, at level 23, we're able to get through that. I can say for a fact that at level 21, it's actually still kind of a luck of the draw, whether we get through or not. Okay, but we've gained some levels, gotten through some damage rounding thresholds. Let's see if we can get through this fight now. We're at least going to survive 2 Karate Chops, which is good. Now you might ask, why are you boosting all the way up? It's actually because of the Drowsy that's coming up. Oh, I was trying to, well, critical hit. Okay, that's fine. I was trying to get badge boost for the Drowsy so that I could do more damage with Slam, basically. Because, yeah, Drowsies are also going to be trouble in this one. When we get to Fuchsia, we're going to see that, yeah, Pikachu, that special stat ain't so good. Doesn't really have a whole lot going there. Not as much as you guys would think, at least. Alright, so here we can take on Pidgeygirl. This is going to be fine. Thundershock. 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 Nice. We get through without a single point of damage. Now into this guy where Thundershock's going to wreck that one. Please just use Tackle and Quick Attack, you jerk. No. I was hoping that he would just do something ridiculous. And now another place I'm going to deviate from my previous run is in fact right here. I'm going to fight a lot of trainers here on the SSN, which I did not do in my last run. And the reason I'm going to fight them is because I found that the next section was not super consistent, especially Lieutenant Surge, but also the Rapping Lass aren't super consistent at our current level. But if we sit here and just, you know, own some weak water type Pokemon, well then we can gain the levels. And gaining the levels, guys, is the name of the game. This guy, I believe, has like a Machop. Or is it this guy that has the Machop? I don't remember. Rip. No, this guy doesn't have the Machop. Cool. I don't want to fight Machop guy. I want to fight the non-Machop guys. And now we get to learn Thunderbolt. There we go. That is big. That is huge. Here we can fight this guy where now Thunderbolt, I think, just wrecks these. Yes, yes. Destroy them. Destroy them all. Okay. Like this is. I mean, oh, this is the guy with the Machop. Rip. Okay, Surf. Go down. But we can get a Hyper Potion there. Cool. Now, I'm not going to mess around with that old man. But I am going to come in here, I'm going to fight this guy, where I think Thunderbolt's going to do decent damage. Okay. And we leveled up yet again. And we were able to get a Hyper Potion, which is going to help. I swear to God, it's going to help. Because that means we're going to be able to, you know, like not be as bad. And this is where I'm going to learn my first actual TM move, Body Slam, Over Slam. And I'm going to carry that for quite a bit because that is our coverage move for grass type Pokemon. So here, Thunderbolt I think will do the job. Yes, we are strong enough that Thunderbolt is pretty much wrecking things, which is nice. Oh, did not wreck that one though. But it will wreck that one. Cool. And now at this level, I think we can just come over here and fight the old man. Yes, this one. Surf, will it one-shot? Yes. And yes, perfect. So we can get the extra rare candy, and now it's straight on to rival number 3? Rival 3, yes. Now we're quite a bit above minimum battles, but that's fine, basically, because this is a Pikachu. Guys, we had like nearly 400 resets in the last one, and we're trying to wipe off those resets as much as possible. So, yeah, we'll take this. Here, I'm not even setting up double team. I'm just going all in on attacks, and it works. So Razador goes down. Cool. He, you know, he does all right over there on his channel, you know, trying to beat Gen 3 with his invasive species content, which is actually, guys, if you haven't watched Razador, seriously, go check him out, because the invasive species setup that he's got is actually really legit. Like, I'm a little jealous. Why didn't I think of that? To bring Pokemon that aren't in a particular version into that version. You know, could be like Gym Leader Matt start doing the Sanqui or whatever runs. sure somebody's gonna be like, you said that wrong. It's pronounced Senki. Maybe. Okay, here it's not that trash can. There we go. So here I'm going to heal up right here with a full restore. And I'm going to try to beat Lieutenant Surge. We are at the same level as him. And we get one hit. We get destroyed by him. Now, this one is just going to be random, though. Because if we manage to set up double team, we will eventually win. The question is, how many attempts will it take? Okay, X speed is good, growl is good, miss is good. And you might be wondering, like, why go for all of the double teams? To make my body slam that strong that I can just two-shot him. I could probably do fewer than that and two-shot him, but to be safe, yeah. And I mean, 3 attempts, that's perfectly fine. And Pikachu, he's in love with Clefairy, in case you didn't know. He's actually like wild about this Pokemon. This Clefairy's just like, PP. That's right, he says PP, guys. Apparently that's what Clefairy says. My mother would have lost her mind if I was a child watching Pokemon and instead of saying like fairy or something like that, it said PP, PP, PP. Insta demonetized. Oh, that's funny. I never knew that Clefairy said PP. I never knew that that was the only word that a Clefairy knows how to say. Oh, I'm a child at heart, guys. I'm sorry. That's so stupid. Why didn't any of you guys ever tell me in the comments that the only word that Clefairy knows how to say is PP? If you guys had only told me, we could have had so much fun with this game. Oh god. Nobody ever talks to the Clefairy because they're like, you know, actually playing the game. Not being like me sitting over here like, yeah, I'll just you know, let Clefairy just talk about his PP all day. Oh god. That's bad. That's bad, guys. This game was so bad. I understand. You'd probably spell it different to mean that, but still, the fact that he's saying it. Alright, here we are, wrapping last time. I'm going double team. Yet again, I want to avoid the damage, but I also want to reach the point that I can just simply one-shot these Pokemon with Body Slam. That is the goal. That's a one-hitter. We don't want to be wrapped. There we go. That's a one-hitter. See, it's not a one-hitter without the badge boost. We leveled up, so we lost our badge boost in attack. But there we go. We get through. Cool. So we're going to pop back over here and, yeah, just figure this whole thing out. Now, going back to Clefairy for a second, it would be pretty bad if it was just sitting there calling everybody a fairy too, but, you know, it would be a heck of a lot better than saying PP over and over again. Oh, man. Okay, we take out that bug catcher, and now we don't really have any challenges in this next section. You might think that we do, but the whole point is that we have, for this Cubone coming up right here, for example, we have Surf. So Surf takes that one down, and then we've got Thunderbolt to take out the Slowpoke. So we took no damage there. And here in this one, guess what? Thunderbolts. Haha, we win. So the only spot where we potentially have trouble is this one right here, this junior trainer. Since she does have grass type Pokemon, our arch nemesis. If you wanted to make like a Pokemon Yellow Kaizo, you would just give the rival Bulbasaur and then never be able to win. Oh, sorry, I was just sitting there mashing A just using double team when I've already used all the double teams. But body slam is the solution there. Body slam makes that fairly consistent. And yeah, now you might be saying, what about the rock tunnel hiker? Guy's a chump. Nobody's scared of the rock tunnel hiker. Especially not Pikachu. Look at this. Look at this. Just watch me get a Gen 1 miss now. Oh god. Don't get a Gen 1 miss, Pikachu. Okay, there we go. We took him down. All one-hitters. He is incredibly easy as long as you don't get a Gen 1 miss there. 1 in 256 chance, but you know. And here, we're going to just try to destroy these Pokemon. And we've been put to sleep. Okay, we wake up. That's fine. Level up and Thunderbolt. More than enough to take out that little Pidgey right there. And now we're entering another part of the game where it actually is going to get pretty hard pretty quick. So this is another spot where I'm actually going to take some optional battles. And you might think that I'm being premature, but trust me, I'm not. And we really just want these high experience, low effort battles. They are going to help. And trust me, we're going to need a lot of battles in this one. Here, this is like a Pidgey trainer, so we can definitely wreck these ones with some Thunderbolts. Perfect. And then this guy, he's got more rocks. So we can get his rocks off, and there we go. Nice. So now we've done that. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go ahead and get access to this next section here where I'm just going to get Swift very quickly. We can always go back down there and fight those trainers, but I'm going to lead off here by fighting Clefairy Girl instead. She's not too scary. And I think Rocket Game Corner is first up going over here, but we're always just going to have to kind of keep in mind that from now it's going to get hard, and there we go. This is the section of the game where it's always just the first kind of big difficulty ramp. So the first hurdle is always Brock. Misty's usually not too bad for most Pokemon, but then there's a big difficulty ramp when you get to Celadon, basically. I always kind of view the game as like a set of stages where stage 1 is Brock, stage 2 is Misty, stage 3 is basically Celadon, and you know, you're gonna hit a wall somewhere in here pretty much every time. Either you're going to struggle against Giovanni, or you're going to struggle against the rival, or you're going to struggle against Koga, or you're going to struggle against Blaine, or you're going to struggle against Giovanni in the middle game. All of those are spots where runs just completely break down. And we saw that last time. Double team, yes, it lets Pikachu get through, but it is not perfect. Now here is the only place in the game where I intentionally turn on wild Pokemon. These are not speed runs. Say it again. These are not speed runs. I'm just trying to see the most optimal way of getting through the game. Now here I'm going to catch a wild Spearow. Nice. And now I'm going to turn wild Pokemon back off. I'm using Game Hook to do this. You can do this however you like, but Game Hook makes it pretty easy. I just set the encounter rate to 0, and there we go. No more wild Pokemon. Now, I've already beaten Lieutenant Surge, so I can actually teach this little Spearow to fly, and it can apparently carry myself and 2 other Pokemon. I mean, I am only like 100 kilograms, so clearly I'm very easy to pick up, guys. Very easy. This Spearow, he's probably gonna hate his life. He's probably gonna die. Sorry, Spearow. So, nice. Now we've gotten through that. time to move on right over here to the Rocket Game Corner. We are not going to go take on Erica because Erica is going to be hard in this one. Not super hard. Body Slam will make her much easier than the last one, but still, she's not going to be a cakewalk by any means. So here in the Rocket Game Corner, we can go ahead. We're just going to pick up the things that we actually need. And yeah, just get downstairs to fight this Rocket Grunt. We would always be better off taking optional battles by fighting some of those hikers or that were in Rock Tunnel, or fighting you know, some water types or something. We're always going to be better in those spots because here we can actually get knocked out by some of these Pokemon if we mess around too much, especially due to quick attack and things like that. There are actually spots where we could get pretty well mangled in this section. So we have to be careful. Everything is a physical attacker in this part of the game. Like, there aren't really special attackers. The whole way that the game is kind of designed is everything early game is pretty much a physical attacker. Everything late game is a special attacker, except Bruno. And that's why Bruno's so bad, because he's like the only non-special attacking Elite Four member in this version of the game, at least. So here, I'm just gonna heal up very quickly before I take on Jesse and James. And let's just try them here. But I think this is a spot where Double Team is clearly the play. And then we're going for Thunderbolt. We've been poisoned. No. And we're not going to learn Agility in this one. Okay. And that was not a one-hitter. That was a one-hitter. Okay. But now we need an antidote, and we're going to use this Hyper Potion right here before we go into Giovanni, because if he lands a lucky hit, we can get knocked out here. So let's get into this one. I'm going to lead off with the Double Teams right here on his Onix, and it used Rage, but it doesn't get locked into Rage unless it actually hits me. And keep in mind, I have a badge boost in defense from Lieutenant Surge, so I'm taking less damage after I set up the Double Teams. But it's also because of this Persian right here. Persian is scary. Bite does a lot of damage, and that was a 3-hit KO. Probably a 2-hit range, but a 3-hit KO there. And we get through. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. We're making progress. Still only 8 resets, and that's how I want to keep this one. I want to keep the resets low. I want to probably be a little too high of a level in some spots, but yeah. So here against Rival 4, I'm going to lead off actually with some Double Teams. And I mean, Growl kind of sucks. We don't really like taking that damage, but here we do one shot. Here I am going to Body Slam. Okay, it's a 2-hitter there on the Magnemite. Thunderbolt's fine there. Surf on the Sandshrew is a 1-hitter. Now I can go for a couple Thunderbolts, and there we go. We get through Rosador yet again. Don't worry. I'm sure that if we do a challenge against each other, that Rosador is going to completely stomp me into the ground. So, yeah. I'm just throwing down the gauntlet, man. I'm not saying I'm going to win. Here we can 2-shot these Ghastlies at this point. We are massively over-leveled. Level 35 is way above the level that we should need to be to fight these Ghastlies and win, so... Here, I'm still going to save, though, because bad Confusion Luck could always just end up wrecking us. But it's a 2-hitter, so I'm not going to mess around with setting up Double Team. Double Team makes no sense in spots where you're just knocking your opponent out in 2 hits. And I mean, we're fast enough that even paralyzed we outsped there. So that was kind of stupid, but I'll take it. We're just way, way, way over leveled. So here we can get into the Ghost Marowak though, and Ghost Marowak is kind of scary. Surf, Headbutt did a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure Bone Club, it might not be a 1-hit on its own, but a crit Bone Club would definitely one-shot us there. Excuse me. And now we can get up to the top floor. Jesse and James time. They lead off with Meowth in this one. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Here, we're just basically going ham. And we get through. Cool. Level 36. We can save Mr. Fuji. Look at this guy. Named after a mountain. Just, you know, is what it is. I mean, it's a very common last name here in Japan, Fuji, but, you know, it's also the name of a mountain, so cool. All right, we have gotten to Silph, and this is where the game is going to get incredibly hard. I already know. If I try to even stay close to minimum battles, I can tell you for a fact that at my current level, level 36, I cannot consistently beat Rival 5. It's not possible to consistently beat him. It's possible to beat him with enough resets because I have double team, but it takes quite a few attempts to get it done. So I am fighting the required Rocket Grunt, but before I go and take on Rival 5 here, I'm actually going to dig out, and I'm intentionally going to go take some optional battles. I think the best optional battles to take first are actually these rock tunnel hikers. There are a bunch of them that give very good experience. I can also fight Slowpoke guy here. Oops, and well, even Surf did decent damage, so there's that. But here we want to just basically fight things that we can easily knock out. We do not necessarily want to fight the trainers that have grass type Pokemon, but like this guy right here, perfect target, gives decent experience, and they're just one shots. We're not going to take any resets there. We have to kind of balance. When I say I'm optimizing, part of it is that I'm trying to balance out the likelihood of getting knocked out versus the amount of XP that I gain from the fight. And these are fights where the likelihood of getting knocked out is incredibly low, and the XP gain from the fight is relatively good. So on that basis, they're fairly optimal fights to take. Here, Machop, but we're at a much higher level, so we take those ones down. Cool. So now I'm going to dig out. And like normally in this spot, I would be like, let's go fight the Fighting Dojo. The problem is that we have a really low defense. So the Fighting Dojo is not a great training ground for a Pikachu. The other part of it is you might be saying, go down near Fuchsia and fight the bird catchers. Well, I tried that in the last run, and I ended up taking tons and tons of resets because, you know, turns out that a Dodrio with a critical hit can basically just wreck a Pikachu. What is going on here? Why am I not getting my item? Ah, I see. There we go. Okay, I got my item there. But yeah, the problem here is that, like, I could fight this biker who's just, like, right above me right now. He's got 5 Pokemon. Gives pretty good experience for this section of the game. The problem is that all of his Pokemon are physical attackers, and they do decent damage to a Pikachu. So it's not good enough to just say, oh, this fight gives good experience, so I should fight that fight. There are a lot of these that I still have decent odds of just getting knocked out. So I'm going to actually start by fighting these trainers down here. They give less experience overall, but they have far weaker attacks, which means they're far less likely to knock me out. And I have a type advantage here. I mean, Goldeen, what's it going to do? Peck me? Horsey is going to use Bubble, maybe? Those are all one-hitters anyway. So, those are easy fights. The other place that we can go to get fights is... Now, we have to just be aware. Like, this This bird keeper, no problem. As long as we don't Gen 1 miss, we're going to knock out all 4 of his Pokemon with very little difficulty because we outspeed everything. And that's a good 1800 plus experience right there. Here we can take on this guy, not quite as good experience, but we're going to be able to knock out both of his Pokemon pretty easily. But now, really, we have to start thinking who to fight, when to fight. I think a good spot to start is kind of over here. We can fight like this bird keeper. Also has a Dodrio, but it's a one-hit KO Dodrio. Weaker than the single Dodrio that's out there west of Fuchsia. Can take on this guy where he's got a bunch of birds that are all just gonna get wrecked because, yeah. And we're at level 40 now, cool. I can say for a fact that last time when I beat Rival 5, I was at level 44. And I'm still not saying it was consistent at that level. I'm simply saying at that level I was able to beat him within a reasonable number of attempts. So, you know, the double team, it can work, but I'm trying not to use rare candies here. That's the other possibility. You could say rare candy, rare candy. No, train before rare candies every time. You guys know. You know that this is what it is. You know this is what we got to do. And here we're getting strong enough that we can actually one-shot a lot of things. I'm going to actually keep Thunderbolt in this one and just try to knock these Pokemon out. So here, let's go back to Celadon and let's take on Erica at this point because we are at a high enough level that I can fairly confidently say we're going to beat Erica. Tangela's not that good. If Tangela just goes hard on the Mega Drains, maybe we'll lose, but otherwise we should mostly win this one with double team. So here I'm going to actually set up a couple double teams right here. Barrage doesn't do that much, and we knock that one out in a couple hits. Cool. And for Erica herself, we don't want to fight everything else in here. They're all grass types. They're all going to resist basically everything that we do. But here we can sit here and spam the double teams, and Constrict isn't too bad. Bind is likely to miss because it's not very accurate. And we one-shot there. And it's a two-shot on Gloom, but we get through. Cool. So with double team at this level, Erica's just a joke. But we still have some troubles coming up. So here, I'm gonna try to take on either Koga or Rival 5 up next, but let's start with Koga. We have to get through his gym first, where the best strategy is really to set up double team. We've been poisoned. That's bad. Now we leveled up, so we lost badge boosts anyway. But we do get through that fight. Cool. That one's not necessarily terrible. The problem is going to come on this next juggler, where if we get hit by Psychic, it's going to do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. So we're really hoping to set up, like, look, Confusion did that much. My God. Okay, he swaps. That's good. And we get a body slam down the Hypno now. Cool. And body slam down the Drowsy. The badge boosts are what make that possible more than anything. Like, yes, evasion's nice too, but we can just see, like, special type moves like Psychic are already doing so much damage. Sorry, I'm not trying to fight that guy. And this is where this one just gets incredibly hard. So here, the strategy is, of course, to try to set up double team. And if we get poisoned here with Toxic, it's basically GG into the run. Got a lot of misses on that one, which was nice. But we got wrecked there. Now, let's just try this again. So we're going double team. Tackle did that much. It was a crit, but I mean, still. Tackle. And we get knocked out by the first Venonat again. Let's take one more attempt at this and then we're going to give up on it. So he uses X attack turn 1, X attack turn 2. Those are both nice. He misses with sleep powder. Okay, now we've set up all the double teams. Now that first Venonat's a 2-hitter. Now we've leveled up to level 43. But the second Venonat does go down. Crit right there with paralysis is nice. Okay. And, oh, we paralyzed. Yes. Yes. And here, I think we want a Thunderbolt because that's our actual strongest damage output. And there we go. We get through Koga. Took a couple of attempts. It's clearly not perfectly consistent. We didn't even have to deal with Toxic in that one, but if we did, like, Toxic would mess us up. But at least we got through. So now we can go back. And I told you guys, level 44 was the level that I was able to beat Rival 5 last time. So still don't think it's going to be perfectly consistent, but let's just go ahead and at least give it a try before we go super crazy on the level ups here. But we also have to keep in mind, we can go to Pallet Town and then go south and fight all of those, whatchamacalls, all the water types that are kind of hanging out down there. And that's probably our best play. We're trying to eliminate like basically 400 resets here, so, you know, getting optional battles is basically fine. So here, I'm actually gonna just go for that. This one? Ah, I ran into the Magikarp guy. Rip. They are easy experience, but we didn't want to fight Magikarp guy. I always forget which one of these guys on this little platform is Magikarp guy. Oh, that's terrible. God, no. This guy, Sea King guy. We like Sea King guy. He gives good experience. Look at that. Like 3,500 experience or so. Okay, this guy, Seadra's nice. Tentacruel is a 2-hitter here, but still pretty nice. 2,500 XP there. Here, Tentacool, I think he finishes with a Tentacruel. And we're going to have to body slam this one. Okay. Still nice. So that's another level up. Look at our little Pikachu with his little surf sprite. Like, look how cute he is. It's legendary. Okay, so now we've gotten through that section. Let's get up north yet again, though. We want to fight this one. Here, just a second. Sorry about that. So let's get into this one right here. I don't know. You guys might not be able to hear that. Maybe it's just coming into my headphones. That wifey's on the phone out there with her friend. So, which is fine. Just trying to make sure that it's not in the background of everything. You guys can hear her whole life story. So, yeah. So here we're just going to knock these ones out very, very easily. And it's really just about finding these trainers that give really good experience for minimal effort. Okay, so we knocked that one out. Cool. You might be saying, hey, you're over leveling level 46. This is really more about the fact that everything in this section can basically destroy Pikachu. So let's go back to Silph. let's go ahead and give old Rival 5 a try here at level 46. Just because of the fact that, like I said, I beat him at level 44. It wasn't like it was super consistent at level 44. Maybe the couple levels help. That's what I want to test right here. So here we get through to Rival 5. I'm going to save and I'm going to try to take this guy on. So here, strategy wise, like look at how much damage that slash just did. And then he can follow up with Swift and just knock us out. So we need a run where he doesn't use slash on us, or at least he doesn't hit with slash. And it's not like we want to go for all the double teams here. We're just trying to go for enough that the next part won't be too bad. Here we can go Thunderbolt and get through. But now the problem is Magneton. Okay. Here we've got the badge boost. We take that one down. Body Slam's fine there. And now here we get embered down by the Flareon. So this one's just not going to be consistent no matter what we do. And I misclicked. Come on. Didn't mean to use Thunderbolt there. Come on. Okay, we've taken some accuracy drops, which is bad, but we're on... I was about to say we're on better HP, and then that just went out the window. Okay, we need to hit... Okay. And we get wrecked. Paralyzed him and everything, but we get wrecked. So... this is what I'm saying when I say that this is not a consistent fight by any means, is that it's clearly possible to beat Rival 5. There's nothing, like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to beat him eventually, but all of these are showing us that he's not consistent by any means. And if he's not consistent, Blaine's not going to be consistent either. Blaine's going to use a lot of really strong physical moves as well. So our best strategy here, I think, is to fight more of these water types. I mean, yes, we could use rare candies, but we really want to save the rare candies for the end because we're going to have to get to at least, I think, level 65 to have any shot of one-shotting rival, or sorry, the champion's right, or not Raichu. What am I talking about? The champion's Sandslash. And yeah, one-shotting the Sandslash is really going to be the key to the final battle, to even having any shot at it without just taking a massive number of resets, basically. So here in this section, everything can basically be destroyed with Thunderbolt, which is nice. And we actually have a bunch of PP ups that I think I'm just going to slam into Thunderbolt. I think this is optimal. So here, let's just surf some more. Take this one on. Hey, star you, star me. And yeah, let's just destroy these Pokemon yet again. So now we've leveled up through a damage rounding threshold, which is nice, but I still don't think we're that close. So I'm going to also take on this section. Remember, we're trying to eliminate like 400 resets, so we can take quite a few battles and still be in the range ultimately. Like, it will still be technically an improvement on the first run. Okay, so here we'll fight this one. And I always basically try to fight trainers for level ups and not wild Pokemon. And there are some pretty good reasons for that. It's because this is my way of making sure that at least I can say exactly which battles I took and what stat XP I have. Whereas if I just, you know, kind of said, oh, well, I fought some trainers, well, I could have fought really weak trainers and gotten a bunch of stat XP, or I could have fought really strong trainers and gotten almost no stat XP. Yeah. And I don't have a list that actually tells me like the best trainers to fight in every spot. So here we're at level 50 now. So we've gained, you know, a bunch of levels, and we are through 2 more damage rounding thresholds. So I'm going to go back here and try this one. And the idea is twofold. Number one, can we just even straight up knock out the Sand Slash? If we can, then I think that's the best play. And then we'll always be able to knock out the Cloyster. And that is still not a one hit. Are you kidding me? There's Thunderbolt. But now we have to try to set up on the Magneton. And yeah, that's stupid. So yeah, even at this level, we're not one-shotting this first Sand Slash. And I'm checking to see if it's a range here. But yeah, no, we're just simply not one-shotting Sand Slash. So here I am going to use the double teams now on the Magneton, which is good. And here, cool. And here, nice. Come on, we actually need to land a hit. There we go. Okay, so we get through there. Level 50, but we can see like that's not like, oh yeah, you're level 50 and it's a guaranteed win. It's a little bit more of a, you're at level 50, you can win, but this is not going to be consistent even at this level, which is terrible. Terrible, guys. And keep in mind, I mean, we were only a few levels higher than this when we beat the entire game on minimum battles, but that is kind of a thing where, you know, minimum battles is possible, but Pikachu is probably one of those rare cases where I would say just because it beats the game on minimum battles doesn't mean it's close beating the game with just a few extra battles. We've seen that with a lot of other Pokemon where they beat the game on minimum battles, and it's very clear that, oh man, if they just had a couple of extra battles, they would be able to basically wreck the game. Yeah, not this one. So here, Giovanni, he shouldn't be terrible, I don't think. He can use Focus Energy. Nice. Get pumped. That's right, get pumped, buddy. And here, I'm going to Thunderbolt on this one to take it down. Same here, I'm going to Thunderbolt. Here, Surf is fine. And Surf is going to do just fine here against Nidoqueen. So there we go. We take them down. We have saved this whole Silph company. They offer us a single Pokeball for it. They're like, thank you for saving us. Here's a Pokeball. But we can get a rare candy. You know, just loot the whole place, you know. That's the way that you actually get a reward for doing good things. Do something nice for somebody, and then just go in their house or their office or whatever and say, yeah, and by the way, this thing right here, this nice thing you have, that's mine. If the world worked that way, I would have a lot of stuff, guys. We're not going to use TM6 ever, so that's fine. We'll get rid of that. And now I think it's time to try Sabrina. The reason we want to try Sabrina is because the first Abra doesn't have any attacking moves, which means we have a perfect setup for double team. And even if we have low accuracy, we'll also have a bunch of badge boosts and a bunch of evasion to go with it. So we're gonna do like this. And okay, here we've leveled up, but Body Slam was a 2-hit there. Perfect. We took Sabrina down just fine. We can get out of here, and now it's time to go back down and fight against Blaney Boy. And this is another one of these that's not going to be super consistent, so we'll go in here, we'll do this whole section, but we may end up even having to fight more trainers in order to gain even more levels in order to make this fight reasonable. Because Blaine just hits really, really hard, and he's got strong Pokemon in this version. If this were Pokemon Red and Blue, I would say he's easy because he'll use Roar and, you know, he leads off with a Growlithe and that whole thing. But in this version, he leads off with Ninetales, which loves to confuse you, loves to use Flamethrower, loves to use Quick Attack, which you're like, Quick Attack? That's like a 40 base power move. Yeah, but it does a lot of damage when your Pikachu has basically no defense. So yeah, we have to just keep that in mind as we go through this section. That, yeah, it's really bad, guys. All right, so here we get through Tombstoners and all that, and now it's time to take on Blaney Boy, where I think the strategy is just to set up some double teams first. We want all the double teams, and remember that we don't have badge boosts in special, so Body Slam's probably doing the most damage. Yeah. And Body Slam has the added benefit of paralysis, so... Okay, now that he uses Reflect, now I'm going into Surf. And there we go, we take him down, perfect. But just because we took down Blaine easily does not mean we're out of the woods, because next we have to take on Giovanni. And Giovanni's gonna be hard. I mean, literally and figuratively. He has a Rhydon, which is hard, but he's also going to be hard in the sense of, you know, he's probably gonna wreck our Pokemon. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, guys. We have something to look forward to. Pikachu, meet Rhydon and get wrecked. So Rhydon's probably not going to be a problem because of Surf, actually. 4 times super effective. It's going to be the Nidos before him, and of course the Doug trio at the very beginning. So here, let's get into this fight, where first we can take out this Rhyhorn very easily. That's a nice little one-shot right there. This black belt's going to actually be kind of hard though, I think, because... yeah, that did not one-hit. Now we can set up, I think, a single double team and now be guaranteed to one-shot these. So, no, it's still a range. RIP. Oh, God. See, we're not even one-shotting there with Thunderbolt. And it's not like Machoke has great defense, or special, rather, to resist our Thunderbolt there. So... yeah, that's not very promising. This is gonna be bad, I think. I think we're gonna have to gain a lot of levels in order to make this one consistent. But let's just see. I want to see 2 things. I want to see if... does Surf one-shot against the Doug trio? Is the first question. If Surf can one-shot the Doug trio, well, we're outsped. So... here we obviously need to gain levels, because as long as we're outsped, it's going to hit first and it's always going to use a super effective attack. So we're really just hoping for Fissure that has a 30% chance of hitting. Earthquake or Dig are 100% accurate. Yes, Dig will let us set up one of our... well, I mean, we might get off 2 double teams before that, but still we're dealing with a 50-50 shot there. Not really ideal. So... we're instead going to come over here and take that one out. And here we can outspeed that Doug trio. So that's a one-hitter. Nice. Here, Black Belt, Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts gets us an extra level. We need 1 more level to hit a damage rounding threshold. But this one's really more about speed, honestly. So here, let's take on this boyo here, where... okay, being paralyzed is not ideal, especially with Tauros. No! Tauros. Actual beast. Okay, so yeah, we lost some progress there. Here I'm going to set up a double team, now go Thunderbolts. Oh, and we leveled up, so now Thunderbolt. Still not a one-hitter there, my god. My god, guys. Okay, let's make sure we save before we take on this guy right here, this Tamer. because, yeah, there are simply no guarantees here. Tackle will do too much damage. Okay. That guy has a Machoke, which I don't really want to fight. This guy has a Nidorino and a Nidoking, which also not great, but at least they can do that. Here, Thunderbolt takes that one down. Surf should wreck that one. Perfect. Okay, I mean, let's just take this guy on, I guess. Now we get to level 55. Now we have hit a damage rounding threshold there. And we're on 137 speed. What was the speed of his Dugtrio? It's quite fast, I do know that, but let's just see what its actual speed is here. Okay, we outspeed, and it's not a one hit. Okay, and that still is a one hit. Okay, so it's going to be a range here. Now we do outspeed, so we can set up one double team. And now Surf? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to keep setting up double team here on the Persian, on the basis that we want to have all the badge boosts for the Nidos. Okay. Still a two-hitter here on Nidoqueen. Still a two-hitter there on Nidoking. But it is a one-hit there on the Rhydon. So we get through there. We're at level 56 already. So we're basically like at the same level as we would be on minimum battles when we beat the champion. But we haven't used any rare candies. Like, this would be using our rare candies on minimum battles against the champion. And this is the section of the game now where I think we go rare candies. I think that's our best play. So I'm going to get the last rare candy from the power plant, and I'm going to intentionally try to keep one rare candy for each member of the Elite Four. But I think we're going to see that this is not, even here, it's not going to be perfectly consistent. But from this point on, our best strategy for leveling outside of rare candies is going to be to just grind against Lorelei. Lorelei will give us good experience, and we've got a type advantage. We should be able to get through at least 2 or 3 of her Pokemon, assuming we manipulate her AI and get some double team set up. Shouldn't be terrible. So there we go. We've dug out, and now before we even take on Rival 6, I'm just going to start popping rare candies. So we can use 7 here. Oh, we could use 8 here, because we're going to get another rare candy. So as long as we have 3 left over here, we'll have enough to add a level between each of the fights on the Elite Four. Perfect. So let's take on rival number 6 here, where we're definitely going Surf right there. That's a one-hitter there at this level. We can go double team. Oh, and we get leech seeded. Okay. Now we want body slam. And we're fully paralyzed. We're fully paralyzed and leech seeded. This is terrible, guys. Oh god, no. And he knows Swift. So see, even at this level, it's not like that was a guaranteed win. Just getting through Sandslash is only one part of the battle. Okay, we get Stun Sport again here. And god, this execute. Even with all the badge boosts, we can't avoid yeah. We just can't one-shot it. So yeah, here Swift will guarantee hit us, but we do get through. And now, can we one-shot here? 2-shot. Okay, I mean, I probably should go Swift there. I've got badge boosts in special as well. Swift was probably the play, but we do get through, so we'll just take it. We'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it. And from here, like, if If we struggle against Lorelei, we're just going to grind Lorelei over and over again. If we struggle after Lorelei, we'll start off by using rare candies, but then if we've used rare candies and it's still struggle, then we'll consider grinding against Lorelei in order to gain levels. Lorelei and Bruno probably, because if you can get through Lorelei, you can get through Bruno. It would be embarrassing to not get through Bruno. We're hard-walled by Bruno, guys. Okay, so there we get that one out of the way. Okay, we get the rare candy. Nice. Okay, and we can use strength right here. And cool, we're making our way through here. So, some strength. And we're getting close, guys. We're getting very, very close. So let's just move that boulder right there. Cool. And now we can make our way to the Elite Four. Nice. So Indigo Plateau time. We're going to put all of our Pokemon except for Pikachu into the PC for this one. I do this whenever I think there's a chance that I'm still going to have to grind levels against the Elite Four. And this is a Pokemon where I do think that's a legit possibility. Let's buy a bunch of full restores. And let's go ahead and get into the Elite Four. I don't think there's any point in changing our moveset at all. So let's go with this. Cool. Lorelei time. So Lorelei, I think the best strategy is to lead off with that. Now I'm going to try to get Dugong to rest so that I can set up a bunch of double teams. And I really just want it to rest. Now Thunderbolt should take that one down. Thunderbolt's fine there. Okay, we've leveled up, but we've got all the badge boosts set up. We've got Body Slam for Jinx. Nice. And now Thunderbolts is pretty well going to wreck Lapras. So Lorelei, I mean, we expect her to be really easy. So that's not too bad. Now let's take on Bruno. Bruno should also not be too hard. This first Onix only knows Dig as far as moves that are super effective, and we can see its Dig is far weaker than like Giovanni's usage of whatchamacall. Thunderbolt's gonna one-shot these Hitmons, one-shot here on the other Onix. We've leveled up, but nice crit there means it's only a 2-hit KO on the Machamp. So nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and full restore right here. And I'm also going to use an elixir right here to get back some PP. And let's just see where we sit as far as XP is concerned. Okay, 9,000 is enough that I don't think we need to use a rare candy. We will probably level up in this fight, but we're at least going to get through a decent part of the fight without needing badge boosts. So here, I don't want to take Toxic is the reason why I'm just knocking out that Golbat there. Here I'm going to go Thunderbolt again. Like, Thunderbolt is by far and away our strongest move. Okay, we've made it to Gengar without leveling up. There we go, and we level up right there after the Gengar. So that's nice. We've made it to all the way to good old Mr. Lance, and we didn't even take any damage in that last one. That's nuts. Okay, so now Lancey Boy can be kind of hard because we really want to set up some double teams right here. Critical hit Hyper Beam's always going to wreck us no matter what we do. We could be at a much higher level and still get wrecked by the critical hit Hyper Beam. But ideally we want to set up a couple double teams here. Or no, we don't. What am I doing? Here, let's just knock you out. And let's go here, where at least this Dragonair's pretty much going to have to use Slam or Hyper Beam. And now we can Body Slam and take that one down. We can Body Slam this one down. Thunderbolt will wreck that one. Now we just need the luck to not get hit, and we get wrecked. Okay, we probably need at least one more double team there to make that a 2-hitter. So take that one down. Cool. Slam misses. That's very nice. Hyper Beam means we get another turn to set up. Let's get all the double teams set up if we can. Now let's Body Slam. Paralyze. Nice. Body Slam. He gets paralyzed. Speed Drop is... meant that we got knocked out by Swift. Oh my god, I wasn't even thinking about that. See, double team is so bad in yellow. Like, you know, people in red and blue, they come from red and blue, so they say, oh, it's such a cheap move. But in yellow, it's really not that good, guys. So many things use Swift to nerf this strategy in yellow. So yeah, red and blue, really OP. Yellow, kind of bad. Like, not even kind of bad, really bad. But here, with all the badge boosts, Dragonite is a 2-hit KO. There we go. So we take down Lancey Boy. Cool. Now, I'm not going to use my rare candies just yet. I want to see if I can beat the champion at this level. And particularly, I want to see, more so than can I beat the champion at this level, I want to see if I can one-shot the Sandslash with Surf at this level. So here, that is not a one-hitter. And we can see that that is a one-hitter. So clearly, we need more levels than this to have any shot here. So I'm going to pop the rare candies to get to level 71. And let's see if now we're able to one-shot this Sandslash, given that we've gotten through a couple more damage rounding thresholds. That's still not a one-hit. So clearly, we need at least one double team, a miss, and then to hit with Surf. And yeah, like, we are not surviving a hit here from this Sandslash, and we could probably be at a much higher level and still not survive a hit from this Sandslash. Okay, we got the miss, and that is just barely not a one-hitter. Are you kidding me? So we need 2 double teams to guarantee that we're going to be able to one-shot here, I think. Oh god, because one double team, that's probably a range at one double team. But this is just bad, guys. Pikachu, even at this level, is still basically luck-based here. We have like a 1 in 3 chance of not getting knocked out. And then, like, okay, there we got the range. That was a crit, though. So now, Body Slam and Body Slam. Nice. Now I'm going to try to finish my double team setup here on Exeggutor, because it uses a lot of random stuff that's not super strong. Stomp would hurt, and of course we don't like the fact that we've been leech seeded, but here we can Thunderbolt there, and Surf doesn't one-shot, and we get leech seeded down. Are you kidding me? Even with all the badge boosts, we do not one-shot the Flareon at the end. Oh, this is stupid, guys. Okay. And yeah, we just didn't get the range there. And it might be that we're at the high end of the range and that a crit is what would allow us to get through this one. I don't know. Yeah, because that's even lower damage. We might have to get like an absolute max range here to one-shot after one double team on the Sandslash, which is stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But that's how bad our stats are. Even though we're, what, 10 levels higher, we can't one-shot with a super effective move. A 90, what is that, 95 base power super effective move. Oh, God. So we're going to try to set up 2 double teams, and then we should, whenever we get 2 double teams set up without getting knocked out, we should, in theory, be able to one-shot here. But this might also be the spot where everything up to this point was really easy. We might be better off just losing to rival or losing to the champion here. So let's just try that. Okay, we lost to the champion. That's fine. We've still got plenty of PP restoring items. Let's take on Lorelei again. So I'm going to go body slam. I want this one to use rest actually, but here, sorry, I didn't even end up going for that. I'm just going ham. No. Hydro pump destroyed me. Okay. Yeah, critical hit hydro pump from Lapras because it's known for its very high crit rate, as we all know. Okay, rest. There we go. Now let's set up some double teams. 6. There we go. Thunderbolts. 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 Body slam there. And Thunderbolts. There we go. Cool. We get through Lorelei. Now let's go ahead and take on Bruno once again. I'm wondering if we can just go ham here. Do we even need to set up here on Bruno? Probably not. Get through him with no damage. Not a single teensy weensy little point of damage. Now I'm going to just PP up on... I don't need to use that, actually. I don't think. Let's just try to get through Agatha without using any items. So here, of course, we have to go double team in this one. Okay. So here, we're going to just take down the Gengar, take that one down, take that one down. We're so massively over leveled that we should be just fine here. I mean, Thunderbolt's gonna take that into a range. There we go. Take him down. So cool. We have gotten through Agatha. I'm gonna use an elixir here. I'm gonna use a full restore. We can always buy another one. And yeah, let's try Lancey Boy now. We've at least gotten to another damage rounding threshold, which is good. So theoretically, our attacks should all do more damage at this point than they did before. So here I'm going to body slam and body slam. At this point, we do so much that he's hyper potioning after we body slam, so it's actually worse for our ranges there. Body slam? Body slam? Yeah. See, Thunderbolt does more than half, so we should just use Thunderbolt there. Okay, so we're back to the champion, even a couple levels higher. We're at level 74 now. And, what needs PP? I don't think anything needs PP, so I'm not going to mess with PP here. I'm just going to full restore and save, and let's go right into the champion again. Can we one-shot? That's the question. Can we one-shot with a single Surf? It's very close, but the answer is no. So again, we need a badge boost to be able to one-shot with Surf. So if I set up a double team and I get a miss, now can I one-shot with Surf? No. We didn't get the range to one-shot there either. So we're kind of stuck in hell right now, where we've taken so many battles, and like if we try to double team, we can't one-shot. there either. So I think the only solution is to intentionally lose here again. Oh God. Okay, so we're going to intentionally lose yet again to the champion. We're going to buy some more full restores just to be safe. And let's gain some more levels, guys. Oh God, this is terrible. I thought at level 70 we'd definitely be able to take this one down, but apparently not. Apparently I'm way too optimistic. Okay, so here we've gotten all the badge boosts set up. Let's just knock these Pokemon out. Get the easy XP. Jinx. Oh, we got a Gen 1 miss, but that's fine. And there we go. So Lorelei goes down. We don't even gain a level at this point because we're at such a high level that XP gain just goes down as we gain more levels. Or rather, the rate of level up is exponential as we gain more levels, so same amount of XP does less and less for us. Here we've reached level 75 though, which does get us to another damage rounding threshold. That's always nice. So here I'm going to go ahead and full restore and save, and let's take on Agatha. Here we're going to double team up again against Gengar, since this is clearly the best strategy here. Here I think even Surf will break its substitute. Nice. And then Thunderbolt it down, Thunderbolt that one down, Thunderbolt that one down. Not a one-hitter. That is a one-hitter. That is a two-hitter. Cool. So we get through Agatha. Nice. Yet again. No problem there. I'm just gonna full restore. Gonna max ether on my... I'm just gonna ether on my double team. Let's get into this fight now. So here, Thunderbolt will one-shot. Now let's set up the double teams so that we get the max badge boosts. Okay, now Body Slam is a one-shot there, straight up. But now we lost our badge boosts because we leveled up. We know that Thunderbolt is the strongest move here, so it's a 3-hit without badge boosts. That's not bad. Okay. So here I'm going to full restore to heal up. Gonna save. And now the question is, can we beat the champion at this level, level 76? We've gotten another damage rounding threshold, so now that was a one-hitter. Body Slam is going to 2-hit there. I can start double teaming here. I just really don't want... Well, I mean, if he hits with Stomp every single turn, we get wrecked. But now let's see if we were actually one-shotting, or is it a range here still. Okay, that was a straight-up one-hit KO, so that's nice. Here I'm going to actually use some double teams here on Alakazam instead. Now Body Slam will just wreck there. Here hopefully we just avoid anything. Swift does damage, but we get through. Cool. We've leveled up. And he uses Reflect. There we go. So we beat him at level 77. But we can see, at level 77, we are on low health. But we're like 20 levels higher than we beat the game on minimum battles. And the whole reason is because Pikachu is one of these Pokemon where its entire advantage is speed and the fact that it learns Double Team via level up. And, you know, with the same benefit of being a surfing Pikachu, mind you, it's basically speed and the fact that it learns Double Team via level up. We only added 1 TM, but I mean, look at our moveset and tell me what TM should we add? Honestly, like what TM solves the problem of Sand Slash? You might say Reflect. Oh, Reflect would help. The problem is that if you add Reflect, yeah, you double your defense. You might be able to survive an Earthquake, but you're still not one-shotting, so you're just going to get knocked out with Earthquake the next turn. Substitute, yes, helps, but I mean, then you're going Substitute, Double Team, and that whole strategy, but that's also a broken team, so you're giving up 10 points on the tier list there. You know, something like Thunder can help in certain spots, but it's not going to help against the Sand Slash. There's no move that Pikachu can learn in its level up learn set or in its TM learn set that will solve the problem of Sand Slash. So the only possibility for making this quote-unquote consistent or reasonable is to level up to basically about level 77. At that point, you can pretty consistently get through the Sand Slash without even needing to set up a double team. Anything lower than that, you're not getting through without double team. Double team or substitute, basically. Those are the only two possibilities for getting through the Sand Slash on 0 DVs. Max DVs. Remember, this is 0 DVs. On max DVs, we could have one-shot that Sand Slash at a much lower level, and we would have just crushed this whole section of the game. So just keep that in the back of your mind, right? We're talking about 0 DVs here. The worst possible Pikachu. Yeah, it's bad. But it also beats the entire game on 0 DVs, minimum battles, and no TMs. So yeah. How good did this actually end up? We ended up on 141 battles. There are 65 required battles in the game. Now, a couple got double counted because of the way that we reset, but we can still basically say that we were 75 battles over minimum battles, effectively. And I charge a quarter of a point per battle, so 40 battles is 10 points on my tier list. So 75 is nearly, very nearly equal to 20 points, right? It's 35 over 40, so what is that percentage-wise? 35 times 0.25. Math, guys, math. Let's see. 32 would be 8 points. So 8.75. So we've lost 18.75 points just from our battles. Then we've lost 4.2 points from resets, because each reset is 1/10 of a point. So we're talking about 22.95 at that point, and then we used 1 TM, so 23.95. So we're very solidly in the B tier with this one, even with our best attempt. Even with the best optimizations that we can get, we're basically B tier. And you know, there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but within 3 points, it's not getting A tier, guys. So Pikachu is a B tier Pokemon according to my tier list. Your feeling might be different. And remember that this is a surfing Pikachu. If we did a non-surfing Pikachu, it's going to be much lower than that. But it does beat the game, and we only used 1 TM to do it, and we took a bunch of battles. We got way over leveled, but we did do it. So there's only one thing left to figure out about this Pikachu. We know what it is. I know what it is. I hope you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, stick around, because we're about to see Pikachu has beaten the champion. But how many attempts is it going to take in order to beat Mewtwo? You might say, well, that's stupid. Of course you're going to beat Mewtwo. You have Double Team. Aha, you fool. You've forgotten that Mewtwo knows Swift, which means it's going to completely wreck this little Pikachu. I'm sure of it. It's going to be a bloodbath. And you're like, you're 7 levels higher than the Pikachu. Or higher than the Mewtwo, rather. I don't think it's going to matter, guys. I think we're going to get completely wrecked here. But let's get in here and find out, because, yeah, our last little chance is to look at our little Pikachu, our fat little Pikachu's Surf sprite. I love fat Pikachu. Look at that side sprite. He's so fat and little. He's like, I'm surfing, guys. Oh, fat Pikachu was the legend. They made him all thin in modern gens. Come on. Be full-bodied. Be proud. Pikachu was the cutest in the first generation. That little sprite up there in the left where he's all skinny. Nobody wants a skinny Pikachu. Everyone wants a fat Pikachu. At least my generation. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, do you guys like fat Pikachu or skinny Pikachu? For me, I think fat Pikachu was the legend. The legend himself. Like here, he's still fat. He's not as fat as he was in Pokemon Red and Blue, but you know, compare that to that little dancing sprite up there on the left and tell me which one is better. Come on. Come on, this one, clearly. Clearly. Not even a contest. This one has a surfboard, guys. Come on. I wish that I had a moving GIF of a surfing Pikachu. That would be awesome. Somebody make that. So here we go. Time for Mewtwo. And yeah. My strategy is to get one shot by Psychic, clearly. We are still outsped. And we get one shot by the Psychic. Okay, he uses Barrier this time, which is good. Swift does decent damage, but he's using Barrier. That's fine. And the critical hit Swift just destroyed Pikachu. Pikachu's like, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna fight for you. It's like the Pokemon anime movie. Pikachu trying to take on Mewtwo, save Ash. Doesn't really work out the way that Pikachu thought. And yeah, we get completely wrecked by Swift. Swift is the entire reason why, at least in Pokemon Yellow, Double Team is not really that good. The rival carries Swift from Rival 5 onward. And by the time you get to the champion, he's got also his... Or what, Rival 6 is the one that has 2 Swift users. But they also added Swift to Aerodactyl on Lance's team. So you just get a lot of spots where you can get hit by Swift. So here we go. We finally take down Mewtwo. We're at 47 resets in the end. So with that being said, Modest Mouse... Pikachu beats the entire game at level 77, and he does so with his defense stat is not even over 100. Most Pokemon at this level, every single stat would be over 100. We do not even have a defense stat over 100. That's stupid. I mean, we're 10,000 XP away from getting to level 78, but this is one of the highest XP totals that we've ever had at the end of the game. And I mean, Surf, Thunderbolt, Double Team, Body Slam. Did I get the moveset wrong? Tell me in the comments, guys. But really, I cannot imagine anything that would have made this a better run, quote unquote. You know, Pikachu's just gonna be Pikachu, guys. So... Anyway, that does it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this came out well. I'm going to check the quality of it, and if it's good, I'll release it to the whole channel, but at least it's going to be up for channel members. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This one and the last one will be edited down into an edited video if that's your thing. And hey, I just want to say thanks to Razador for being a good sport in this one. I'm going to hit him up about doing some sort of collab. We're going to figure that out. And it's 2023, guys. We're getting this started. I have a newly rebuilt desktop computer to replace the laptop that was kind of on the fritz. Laptop still works, but it was really struggling with temps while it was rendering. And when I was trying to do a live stream as a test, anytime it gets really hot, it starts having trouble. And it seems like that CPU fan port has gone out on that one. So even when I plugged in a new fan and a known good fan, they did not work in that port. So temps are a problem. I can do light work on it, but I can't do as heavy work as I wanted to. If anybody knows any repair tips, tricks, good people that might be able to help me, send those my way too. Anyway, that does it for this one. Thanks so much, guys. See you in the next one. Later.